Good morning, my friends. Welcome back to the den where we're going to share another shave. Something really interesting today is at the request of my brother, who's just here visiting. We are using Sterling Triumph. Doug was asking about lathering. And he's washed a lot of things and he's just kind of wondering how I do stuff. And we're going to show you what I do, or kind of how I do it. And this is experimenting with the second camera. So my phone is hanging on the mirror here. What I'm doing is I'm shaking my brush out, getting a lot of the moisture out. I'm a bowl latherer, so let me get this bowl out here. And I had about a teaspoon of water in this puck of soap. This is just a little bit smaller than average. Let's see if I can get you out. This is a standard size, and this is the reduced size. So what I do is I put about a teaspoon of water in there just to kind of soften it up. And I do that with all soaps. I don't know, some people do and some people don't. My particular version is to put a little bit of pre-soak on top of all of them. And I'm just using a Frank shaving, I think it's a 19 millimeter synthetic knot today. And just swirl it around in there. You can see just collecting up soapy goodness. And this is about what it looks like after, I don't know, 10 seconds or so, just while I'm chatting with you. And the water that I had in there, see it's kind of laying in the bottom. That's kind of where all the magic happens. That gets incorporated into this. It looks a mess. And see how it just kind of clouding up, making a slurry in the bottom. I'll add a little bit more water, just dip the tips in the water and start whipping air into it. This may or may not work, because you can do stuff all the time, and then as soon as you try to show somebody something, it quits working. So I don't know if this is going to be a nice peaky lather. It's starting to look like it's not, but it's running around in there like yogurt, which is the texture I like. I'm just not getting this volume that I get, but there's a lot in there. I'll get a little bit more water. Do a third dip. Good thing about Sterling soaps is they have a pretty wide water band. You can put a lot of water in here and it'll take a lot of water before the lather actually breaks. You can see that's kind of where we're at. We got some soap in there and it's kind of yogurty and heavy bodied. I don't know which camera I should, well, the cameras are right above each other. Maybe I'll put just a little bit more water in, just for giggles, to see if I can get some more volume for you. Just kind of whip it around in there. And you get that wonderful slushy kind of a sound, and we are getting some more. Son of a guns, I'll put some more water in there. So when you do it off camera, I'm not thinking about it, but now here I am trying to demonstrate something. And of course that's when stuff's not going to go right, but it's working pretty good now. So that's a good enough lather to kind of start with. Let's wet our face and kind of get going. Perfectly fine. Now, I chose Triumph because I like the fragrance, and to a degree I also chose Sterling because it's my touchstone soap, kind of a reference soap. Acts the same every time. very consistent, very well performing. You wouldn't believe what a distraction it is to have a second camera. It's something else. We're going to use the Vector today. I'll put that in the water here and let it warm up. Okay. And as usual, the soap provides plenty of slickness. The razor glides along the skin, doing what it's supposed to do. You could theoretically shave dry with a razor, but it creates all kinds of irritation and whatnot. Oh, good grief, the head started to come loose. It's fast. Tighten that up. So, what kind of, how do you know the leather is good? That's a good question, a fair question. I shoot for the consistency of yogurt, kind of a little bit thicker, runny soap, and you can, when you have the lamp going across it, it'll develop kind of a sheen, like an oil slick almost on top of it. I see. I don't know if you can capture that. See that kind of a gloss? If it's foam, you won't have that gloss. And that's usually when you have too much water. You have that, see there? And how it just kind of paints on solid like. That's kind of what you're shooting for. I'm gonna put a little water on my face for the lather to grab onto. So that's the difference between lather and foam. Lather has got the, you know, a little bit more concentrated soap than foam. Foam is just there kind of appearance wise, and a lot of bubbles and stuff. I think after we do our second pass here, let's try to add water into this, and I'll show you what it looks like when you have too much water. And it doesn't help your shaving at all. Now this is an experiment here where my beard grows this way down the bottom part of my neck. So I'll go against the grain here. I often forget to do that or don't do it, and then later that little frill of whiskers shows up. And when you have a lather, some of that oily stuff that we saw on the top, it stays on your skin and gives you a little bit of what we call residual slickness. And put a little, splash a little water on it, you know, and it livens up the slick and gives you enough cushion to run the blade across it and kind of take off the excess whiskers that you missed. And as usual, I got a pretty good shave out of this. So let's put a little bit of witch hazel and do a quick splash of the aftershave, and then let's put some more water into this soap and see if we can get it to break. The Triumph aftershave is wonderful too. I don't know what it's supposed to smell like. I just like it. I don't even try to analyze, oh, this is a clone of this, that, or the other fragrance. I don't care. I like it. Okay. let's drain the sink. Get some clear fresh water in here. I can just maybe have it drizzle out like this. So we'll take our soap that we have here. Let's go back to the other camera. So we have the soap that's left, and we'll just kind of put a little dabble of water in there and see what happens when we add more water to it. I'll leave it and just get it up a little higher here. See how things are starting to kind of dissipate? That soap that we had in there, or that lather. See how it gets kind of more translucent, and how much more runny. Of course, you're going to see it get more runny. And ideally, after you put a little water on your face, this is what's really on your skin. So that's with like an extra teaspoon. I'll put a little bit more in there. When you add water and it incorporates, you see it's kind of gloopy and drippy. It's starting to get to the point where it's gonna start being a point where it's not giving you very good lubrication. And that's right on the edge of it here. It's what we call the lather starting to break up. You can see the size of the bubbles is increasing, getting bigger. Let's put a little bit more water in there. See, now it's starting to get runny. You're getting more volume, but it flows in the dish, and it's turning kind of milky. It's because there's not enough soap in there to make a foam. And see, the size of the bubbles is starting to get much bigger. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's still got a little glisten on top, but if you were to paint this on your face, let's go back to the main camera. If you were to paint this on your face, see how the big bubbles and the streaky, it's very transparent. That's not giving you very good lubrication, and I can feel on that, it's after I've wiped it off, instead of being kind of a slick like it was before, it's actually almost kind of tacky. So let's add another teaspoon. Beyond that, this is just going to be like soap water. See the size of the bubbles in there? It's just big bubbles. This is where you would say, I've got good volume, but it's now foam. It's not lather anymore. The sheen is now, it's dissipated to a large degree. See, let's go to the small camera here, because I'll just stay on this camera. See, it's just kind of big bubbles, and this would be terrible as a shave soap or a shave product. It wouldn't give you much lubrication nor protection from abrasion and stuff. You end up with a not real good shave from that. And let's just go crazy now. I'm just gonna put a bunch of water in there. That was about a tablespoon and a half. See, now that's at the point where it just starts sloshing out, and it's become more water than soap, and you can actually just pour it out. And that's where it's just totally not, it's not lather or foam anymore, it's just soapy water. Might use that to wash something with, but it's not going to do you any good as a shave substance. Let's just go ahead and rinse this out, because it's useless to, if I go any further, all you're going to end up seeing is this more white soapy water, and doesn't give you any more demonstration. And this is what I do, how I kind of clean my brushes and stuff in the sink afterwards. Folks will cringe because of that too, but I use the brush to gather up the whisker fragments in the water and flush it, get it all down the sink, and then put the bunch of water through the brush itself, squeeze it, the water out, and then give it a couple of shakes like this. Of course, I don't want to do that up here because it gets all over everything. Just shake it out, and there, we're back to a nice clean brush. That's all there is to it. But that's kind of what my little spiel on lather. Hope you found something that you can use out of it. We'll throw some other little workshops in as we go along with our new production company and trying to get things going. Safety cat's in the sink next to me here. So I'm Major Rich, and you'll find me at theshavingcodger.com. You're finding on YouTube. Help me out. I'm getting close to the point where I can get monetized. I need 500 viewers to get started, and I'm at about 150 short. So if I can get more people subscribed, it doesn't do anything to your account. If you do that, it'd help me out quite a bit. Thank you so much for coming, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.